2025. Did I say that on the last one? I don't know if I got the date correct, but either way it go, let me know your thoughts on today's episode down below. What did y'all think? Did y'all like it? Was y'all expecting Natalia to die? I did read this morning that the lady that plays her excuse me. I did read this morning that the lady that plays Natalia was leaving the show. But I don't know. I was waiting on it to be confirmed. But yeah, it was confirmed. She passed away. So now I'm wondering if they're gonna get ready to blame Sunny. Hey, how you doing today? What they said, hey, let me see if they let me click it. No, they don't let me. But hey, how you doing today? But yeah, I think they're gonna blame Sunny, especially Marco. But yeah, who we gonna start with first? Christina. So she just standing there, she in the fire or whatever. She just standing there looking. She's standing there looking like yesterday's episode review. I was like, so she can't run out the back or nothing. Then I was like, okay, maybe the back is closed off or something. Maybe she can't get back there. On today's episode, she just right there or whatever. She ends up trying to put the fire out with a fire extinguisher or whatever. But she started freaking out. She was just standing there. And Marco was driving by. He ended up seeing it. He said something about he saw a car in the parking lot or whatever. So he decided to stop and see if anybody was in there. So he ends up saving her. Marco is the one that saved her or whatever. Jason was questioning why he was there to begin with. Jason and Sunny was wondering why he was there to begin with. Hold on, y'all. And I said it's about to be a war. It's definitely about to be a war. And then I was wondering how Silva was going to react when he found out that his son was in the fire too, trying to save Christina. But yeah, like I said, Christina was in the fire. Silva was on the phone with somebody. And he was saying, I see that you got the job done or whatever. And I was like, yep, it was him. It was definitely him. But later in the episode, he was back on the phone with somebody saying that he told him to make sure that nobody was in there or whatever. And if somebody was in there, there's basically he gonna pay. And I said, well, let him pay then, because he's definitely. It seemed like to me like he was waiting on her to get in there. But yeah, Sewell was saying that he didn't know that she was in there. But Christina did tell them, she was like, somebody tried to murder her. I said, exactly. They would have seen like either it seemed like that or they didn't see her because she had been down. But Marco say he seen the car in the parking lot, so they had to seen the car as well. But I don't know. But yeah, let me see. Let me find the paper. Sewell, Alexis. I think they was just having a meeting. Alexis wanted to talk to him about some of his paperwork and stuff like that. And he was like, Marco is the one that, usually handles it. He already handled it. But she was like, if her name gonna be attached to it, then, she has to verify or whatever. She has to make sure it's correct. So he started trying to get her this stuff, talking about some, you wouldn't want nobody judging your daughter for who her father is, so don't judge my son. Why did you hire him? If you didn't trust him and stuff like that. I said he obviously has something in that paperwork that he doesn't want her to know about or something. That's why he trying to get her to back up or whatever. But yeah, she still was sitting there. I was like, these people don't know. When somebody like that, I understand she has a job to do, but at the same time, it's like when people like that, crazy psychopath murderers, a murderer or whatever, you might want to stay away from them. And what else? When she was talking to Sunny, Alexa was upset because I didn't write this part down. She was upset at Sunny because Christina had got stuck in the fire and she knew who was responsible. She was asking him which one of his enemies did it. And I said, the one you was just with. And somebody said they think that something's about to take place. Sidwell's gonna do something, and he already excuse me. That Sidwell already did something with that little knife thing. What's it called? The dagger that he gave back to her, and he's gonna try to frame her. But I don't know how true that is. But yeah, that's what they've been talking about on Facebook, y'all. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Elizabeth and Isaiah. I think Isaiah was just talking to her about covering for Portia, and they were just talking about how she been working a lot and stuff like that. At that time, Natalia hadn't came in, but when she did come in, it's revealed that, she passed away. They trying to decide, I don't think I said that word on here. They trying to see if it was intentional or somebody set it up to look like that. I said, this security guard, this bodyguard dude done got caught. I knew Chase saw him when he was about to leave. He seen him, and now they finna rewind the tapes. I said, Sonny, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Because you sit up here. If you know somebody's trying to testify against you or whatever, or they want them to testify, why would you sit up here and give her time to pack? Too much time. And it was just, it was what, 2 to 3 days? I'm assuming he done gave her. Then she tried to spin it like, oh, she wanted to cover herself and stuff like that. Why did you keep that? Wouldn't you tell him? And obviously she found that out before anything. Well, I'm assuming she found out about Sonny's funds and stuff like that before she got fired. Before she got fired. Now I don't know if she did or not, but that's what I'm assuming. But I was like, why wouldn't you tell? Exactly. What else? Let me see. I already said Isaiah covering for Portia. Lucas and Marco was talking on the phone. That's when he ends up seeing the fire, and he got off the phone, and he didn't tell Lucas why he got off the phone. That's how they end up looking for him. They end up looking for him to tell him about Natalia. Um, Josh ends up coming home or whatever. She said something about she was staying there because she wanted to give Josh and Kai some time alone. But then, like, when Brendan came, I said, don't she think it's going to become obvious that she can't be in the same room with him or whatever? And I said, Carly don't need to go ahead and figure out whatever he got going on, because that still hasn't been revealed. We still don't know what his intentions are. I mean, we know that he wants what Dalton is working on, but we don't know why. We don't know what else he's up to. We don't know if he had this set in motion the entire time or what. But yeah, let's see. Elizabeth and Isaiah, we talked about him covering for Portia, Lucas and Marco on the phone. Josh and Lucas ended up talking about his date with Marco. And she was wondering why he left. What did they? Oh, she snitched. She ended up saying how Natalia showed up to the christening or whatever, and Sonny wasn't happy and all this other stuff. And I said, if these people don't know how to mind their business, do it. Now he finna go tell. He finna get ready to go tell Marco. He finna tell Marco. I mean, it wouldn't make a difference anyway because Chase was there and he heard it and he seen it. It was a bunch of people actually saw Natalia there, so they gonna know that they was talking. Now, when they got outside, I don't know. Was Christina the only one that seen the bodyguard? Well, obviously they know the bodyguard regardless. But I think Christina the only one that went out there when I don't think she seen the bodyguard grab Natalia's arm or anything like that. Well, yeah, I said they finna get ready to blame Sonny. They definitely is. I said it's his own fault because you don't sit up here and let her pack some bags. What the world going on? You gave too much time. Way too much time. Let's see. Josh tells Lucas that Natalia showed up at the christening. Chase ends up showing up to the hotel trying to get Natalia to open the door. He had seen the security. He didn't see his face or anything like that, but they did request the tapes and stuff to see who it was. And they gonna see him bringing her to the hotel. They're gonna see him going inside. They're gonna assume that he's the one that planted all this stuff. But I said, can't they verify? Can't they pull the records and verify that there was her medication? That they didn't have it? Well, they could have made her take it. They could have made her take it or something like that. But yeah, I was like, I said, they finna set it up like he did it. I think they end up going in there, and that's when they seen her passed out. They took her to the hospital, and that's when they tried to get her back. They was asking, Isaiah was asking if Elizabeth knew who it was, and she was like, yes, she do. So that's when she ends up calling Lucas. Lucas comes, and they try to reach Marco, but they can't reach him because, you know, he just got out the fire or whatever. Let's see. Look like Elizabeth talk about it. Elizabeth and Isaiah was talking about Aiden and Lucky, about their trip and stuff like that. I already said Alexis ends up going over documents with Sidwell, and that's when he says Marco usually the one that handles that. And I said it got to be something in them documents that he don't want her to see. Jason ends up coming and to tell Sonny that Natalia never showed up. And I said, now y'all want to find out this stuff. It's too late. Tell me, she never showed up. Y'all should have made sure she got on the doggone flight to begin with. That's my thing about the whole situation. Like, how you get her time, and then anything could have happened besides what she did to herself. They could have came and got. That's what I was assuming was gonna happen. ADA Turner was gonna show up when she found out that Natalia showed up to the christening or whatever. I thought she was gonna show up way before they showed up on today's episode. But what else? Let's see. I think Carly, Sasha, Cody, I think they was just talking about the baby and stuff like that. Carly kept trying to get Sasha to rest, but she's so afraid that something gonna happen because, you know, they don't change the baby clothes and everything. So, and she just told her no, she has a lot of energy. She don't want to, you know, go to sleep, and she don't want to put the baby up there. And she said she keeping the watch on her baby. She said she trying to make sure nothing don't go wrong again. When they showed Cody telling Molly and I think it was Sasha that, you know, he got bad news, I thought they found out about Christina, but no, he was just talking about he ate all the food. He was just talking about he ate all the food. Let me see what else. Sonny ends up telling Michael how, you know, he proud to be his father and stuff like that. That's when Jason came and told him about Natalia not showing up. Then Jason gets word that Charles had been set on fire or whatever, so they end up going there. And when they came, they, I think Dante showed up first. He ends up checking on Christina and checking on Marco or whatever. That's when Jason them showed up. Jason ends up asking Marco, what are you doing here or whatever. So Christina told them that he's the one that saved her. And they was like, they basically saying how convenient, because you here, it's a fire or whatever. So they trying to decide, like, was he, oh, excuse me, Lord have mercy, hold on. They trying to decide, was he involved in any way. It looked like on tomorrow's episode they saying something about if Marco ends up being collateral damage, then so be it, or whatever. I said, hey, these fools. I said, about time. Maybe this will be interesting, y'all. I don't know. What else? I think they was just trying to question him. Then they tried to get him to go to the hospital. He kept saying how he didn't want to. He said he had to get to his mama or whatever. He kept saying it. That's when Dante told him he thinks he need to go to the hospital. So he makes it to the hospital or whatever. And that's when Lucas was trying to talk to him, stuff like that. He was like, he had to go talk to his mama, see his mama, or something like that. Anna was like, she got some questions. She was like, she wanted to talk to him about his mama. He ran past them into the room, and that's when he ends up seeing his mama just laid there. So now he finna get ready to say it was Sonny. He finna get ready to say it has been Sonny, because he know about the evidence. He knows. I think she told that she was about to leave. Yeah, she did tell that she was about to leave town or whatever, and that Sonny was the one responsible. Because he was telling her how Sonny gonna murder you or whatever. I said, yeah. What else? To finish with Christine and them, Molly showed up first. She ends up hugging her and everything. Her and Cody show up, and they end up hugging. Then Alexis came, she hugged her or whatever, and she started going off on Sonny. She blamed him for it. She was like, which one of your enemies was responsible? And I was like, the one you just came from. He over here trying to help her get to the, I don't know what it's called. I'm going to say the mainland. I don't know. Trying to get to, where the incident happened and stuff. Like, he really cared. And that's when he ended up making that call saying that he told him to make sure nobody was in there. I said, yeah, okay, we don't believe you. Even if you did, you knew better. You knew better. Oh, I think, who was it? Was it Jason? I don't know if it was when Jason and Sonny was talking, but they said something about make sure the manager find out, because the manager said that she couldn't make it or something like that. They wanted to make sure that there was truth. They wanted to make sure there was truth. I think Molly got a call from one of her friends saying that there had been a fire at Charlie's. Molly came to ask Michael if he was sure that Christina went back there. He was like, yeah. At first I thought he was going to go too. But they ended up showing flashbacks of, when he got caught on fire and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, he's struggling. But I wasn't expecting them to say that he was still in pain. And he said something. I think he said the worst pain was when they had what they had to do, save his skin, read some type of way he explained it. I don't know. I don't know how he explained it, but y'all know if y'all seen the episode. But yeah, it's revealed because he was talking to Sasha. She was checking on him. He got word that Christina, made it out. She has a burn, but she's okay. And he was like, he's so afraid that the same thing that happened to him is gonna happen to her, and he don't want that to happen. That's when he reveals that he couldn't drink anything because he had taken medication. Sasha was saying how she didn't know he was still struggling. He was like, yeah, he still struggled. That's why he had to take medication, and they don't know if he ever gonna be fully okay. Did they say he had nerve damage too? Let me see, because I stopped referring to my notes. Let me see. Let's see. Marco helps Christina. Marlon was worried about Christina. Cody was driving her there. And Cody was just trying to calm her down, telling her wait until, they have actual information. And let's see. We're going to come back to Brennan. We're going to come back to him. I already said Alexis is mad. Michael was thinking about being trapped in the fire. Michael said he got nerve damage, has to take medications and stuff like that, and they don't know if he ever gonna be fully recovered. I said, didn't they say when they was in the courtroom, that Michael is better, he's fully recovered and stuff like that? I say, so wouldn't that be enough just to get the kids back anyways? Cause then they said he was fully recovered. Yeah, he's not fully recovered. He still has nerve damage, and he told Sasha on today's episode how he gonna reassure her, or he's reassuring her that the same thing that happened to him and almost happened to Christina and stuff like that never happened to his kids or whatever. And I say, y'all need to get some cameras. Look, I was so random. I said, where the cameras at? They need to see. They need to go and show us who messing with this baby, who changing this baby clothes and stuff. But yeah, he was just reassuring her that the same thing happened. He was like, in a lot of ways, Sonny was a good father and stuff like that, but what happened to him would never happen to his kids. But we'll see. We definitely will see. He made a promise to her. What else? Let's see. Chase and Anna. What was they talking about? I think that's when Anna showed up to the hotel too. They end up finding out that Marco was there at Charlie's. He's the one that stayed Christina. We already talked about Sasha, Molly, Cody, Josh, and Brennan. I said they still some liars. They still some liars, still lying and stuff. He came there, she wanted to know why he was there and stuff. He was just checking on her and talking about what Vaughn said. It looked like they at the scene of the crime tomorrow's episode. And I said, why they there? And Josh is talking about Sonny tomorrow. Something about you know, same thing she been talking about for a long, long time. How he a criminal and he do this and that and he's a danger and all this other extra stuff. But yeah, they was just talking about Vaughn and her plan and stuff like that. I think something else. What else did he tell her? But yeah, I said she ain't gonna be able to hold it for too much longer. I said she need to tell Jason or somebody because I wouldn't trust Brennan. I said he not trustworthy. He obviously hiding more than what he said, and she don't even know. I don't think she know. Does she know that he planning on keeping the lid whatever Dalton working on? Or was that Vaughn he was talking to that day? I don't know. But yeah, either way it go, I don't think Brendan can be trusted. I think that has been proven for sure. Let me see. Let me find it. Brendan tells Josh that she doesn't get to question his relationship because she was asking was he there to see her mom and do his superiors know that he involved with an agent's mother and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, this ain't gonna go on for too much longer. We'll see though. And Carly came and she wanted to know what he was doing there. He was like, oh, I'm here to see you and stuff like that. And I said, Carly, come on now, Carly. Come on now, Carly. I said, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And then Josh changed her mind. She ends up saying she going back home because she had something to work on or something like that. That's when Carly ends up saying how she found out that there's a fire and Christina may or may not be trapped in there. And it reminded her of everything that happened with Michael. So he started just comforting her and stuff like that. I said, liar, liar, hands on fire. I was ready for him to get caught. I'm ready for him to get caught. But yeah, let me see what else. Was that it with Carly? Oh, Carly ends up saying how she didn't tell Josh what went on because she knew that Josh would blame Sonny or whatever, and she was like, she right. It is Sonny's fault. It is his fault or whatever. That's when she ended up talking about Michael and everything he went through, and it's because of Sonny and stuff like that. And she's worried that Donna would be next, and she hoping that that does the same thing that happened to them doesn't happen to Donna. I said, I think Stilwell, I think it'd be so much better if he was targeting all the Sonny kids and people. I think that'll be real interesting. But what else? Let's see. Because he did have pictures of Dante. He had pictures. Didn't he have pictures of Gio too? Yeah, all of them. Then somebody showing up in Daisy's room. But yeah, let me see. Josh and Brennan. I think that's everybody, y'all. Let me make sure. Let me scan. I already said Alexis was mad and blaming him. Oh, the firefighter dude came and said that it was arson or whatever. So now they got to figure out who. I said, it ain't that hard. Sidwell. Then they showed Sidwell on the phone and they revealed that it was him who did it. But he didn't know, allegedly, that Christina was going to be there. I mean, she did go in. She did get a call saying that her manager couldn't go in and stuff. So we'll see, though. But what else? Was it something else I wanted to tell y'all? I can't remember. Let me see. Sidwell said he has to make sure the building was empty, or he had to make sure. It was something else. I can't remember what it was. I think it was something I seen on Facebook. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a good rest of the day and be safe.